Background noise down because it's right there, and obviously we want them to be able to hear everything she's saying more than anything else. Plus, you guys are here to learn about this new. It's not really new. It's just more of a nutrient timing thing. It's kind of like. So,
she's eating.
Oh, okay, sure. Hope that's cool.
I don't know. It's just.
Anyways, this is Kinde. A lot of you guys know her. She does the meals. She has a Facebook page, Kinde's Kitchen, which is not on the board, but that's okay. Her email is on the board at least. And that's where we can email her questions. She's going to help us do this whole challenge, and she's going to kind of be our advisor. A lot of your questions are going to go to her. I'm learning a lot tonight, just like you guys are, so she's been helping people already at the gym, handful of people I know. Tara and her have been working together. There's something like Tara lost like 10 pounds something a week. She started it. So it's not about weight loss really, but if you have weight to lose, it's a great way to lose weight. But it's more about performance, and that's kind of what this gym's about, as you already know. It's about performance. And a lot of you guys do the paleo thing. I did it for a little bit, and every time you do it, it's like you do these high intensity workouts all the time. It's like, man, I don't have any energy. So each form kind of came about and started helping people that were doing the paleo, helping them eat more carbs at the right time, and that's kind of what it's all about. So I'll turn it over to her. She's the expert, and she's going to help you guys understand it.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I don't recognize you or know your name. Just tell me your name when you see me and you have a question. And you can ask me a question anytime that you see me in the gym, because I don't care. I think it's fun. So this is my Facebook page, and I've been trying to make more of my meals like beef conform style, so like incorporating carbs and stuff like that into more of what I'm cooking. So if you follow my page, I have a lot of good recipes on there. And yeah, it's fun. So that's my email. I had made these packets out, but I only made 20 because I didn't know this was going to happen. There's a lot of people here. So
Well, make sure you get one if you're on the challenge. If you're not on the challenge, you're here for the information, email her. She'll get it to you.
Yep, just email me and I will email it back to you.
I know that a lot of you guys aren't here for the challenge, but if you are, you get priority. And if there's not enough, there's more people than 20, I'll get you guys one like tonight. Just send her your email.
Yep, no big deal. And then find me on Facebook once we kind of go through this. You're going to have questions, and I don't mind if you message me, email me, whatever. Okay, so first thing that you're going to do is you go on Google, and you need to find a calculator. And if you go on Google and you put in ETP calculator, it will come up. ETP calculator. Okay. So when I think it's the first link. It'll pop up, click it, it's going to bring you to this like little calculator where you're going to be able to input your information, height, weight, age, and then it's going to ask you for your activity level. And in one of the articles on the forum it explains it, but basically moderately active would be someone who trains 2 or 3 times a week and sits most of the day for their job. So if that's you, then you're moderately active, and write that down because you're going to want to know that to put it into the calculator. If you're very active, if you CrossFit 4 to 5 times a week, so if that's you, write down very active so you know what to put in. And then if you're extra active, you work out maybe more than 4 or 5 times and you have a pretty active job. So maybe if you're doing 2 a days, you might be someone who's extra active. Okay, so the next 2 things that you'll input is your gender and then your units. And obviously we're in the US, so you're going to be using imperial, so just leave it as is. And the next column down, am I going too fast? Is everyone getting this? Everyone good? Okay. In the next column, it's going to be, it's going to say TDEE or minus 10% TDEE. And those initials stand for total daily energy expenditure, which is the amount of calories that you need to be able to function. So it's calculating in your workouts, your job, just your natural metabolic function and what your body needs to just be doing what you want it to do. You want to choose the TDEE, so not the minus 10%. You can kind of just leave that alone for now. In the future, if you want to use it, you can. It's just for like dialing in more like what you need and what you're trying to get out of this. But for right now, just starting out, you just put the total daily energy expenditure. It's going to give you what you need.
So quick recap, what's the first thing you want to do? just go to the calculator, and then the first thing you put in is like age,
Yeah,
and all the
stuff
basic
you know.
stuff. Age, height,
Yeah.
weight, all that good stuff. And what are we doing this for? What is the?
This is going to tell you exactly how many calories you need to consume on a daily basis to be able to maintain, just for your body to be able to maintain proper function.
That's probably one of the unique things about ePerform, right? It's individual to every single one of you. It's not one of these things where like, all right, eat this every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Based on you, your energy expenditure is what's going to determine what you need. So that's what I like about it. It's not it's not going to go, it's not one size fits all. It's based on you. So age, height, weight, then
Your activity level.
Activity level. And most people tend to overstate that. Like, oh, I'm very active because I walk a dog.
I got stairs in my house.
Right. Activity level, anything else after that?
Then you're gonna,
TDEE.
yep, TDEE.
Okay. I'm just putting this up there so they're a little behind. If you're slow like me, write this up down, trying to listen. All right, cool.
Okay, and then comes your protein calculation. So this is protein, and you're gonna put 1 gram per pound.
1 gram of protein per pound of body weight.
So however much you weigh, that's approximately what number you want to put in for protein. That's how many grams of protein you need. So
Is that based on, I know some calculations are based on lean mass. Is that all based on lean mass?
you can, but you don't need to be 100% accurate, and it's kind of just giving you a roundabout number. So someone who's like trying to build muscle might want to like increase their protein more than what their body weight is. And someone who's just like starting out on this can just use their body weight and then go up and down from there depending on how they feel. So, there is a lean body mass option, but for the most part, they say like pretty much everybody should be eating at least 1 gram of protein per pound, just because if you're doing strength training and stuff, you're breaking your muscle down, you want to be able to build it back up. That's the whole point.
And I can almost assure you, all of you are not doing that. I know I'm not doing close.
You have to try.
Yeah, it is hard. That's why I would say, oh, I eat so much food now. Yeah, because you weren't eating like the right. You might have been eating a lot of food before, but it was like all carbs and crap.
Or just not anything.
Right.
At all.
So this is huge right here. This is a big part of the whole metabolic flexibility thing. Is big piece.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay, so then for fats, when you get to the little tab that says fats, you want to put in 100. If you're a woman, you want to put in 100 grams of fat. That's pretty standard, like across the board. You can go below that, but starting out, you start with 100 grams of fat, and that'll get you going in the right direction. And then if you need to tweak it based on like how you feel or what's what you're trying to do, then you can. But for a woman, you want to do 100 grams of fat. For men, it says 125 to 150, but in most cases, they stick right around the 125. So that's that. The next thing that comes is the fun part. It's the carbs. But you get to leave it blank, because it's going to tell you how many carbs you get once you plug those two things in. So leave the carbs blank and hit calculate.
So carbs, I was supposed to leave blank.
Because if you try to put something in there, it's not going to work.
Calculating.
How do we know what the TDEE is?
It just stands for total daily energy expenditure, which means like here's how many calories you use on a daily basis.
But is that a number of?
No, you just leave it as that, because that's the number that it's going to tell you.
Okay.
So you're at,
There's a
You
drop down
calculate, is
box
that what
and there's
it's
two
called?
options.
So when you hit right here, go to step 6, leave carbs blank, hit calculate, and then it'll give you that TDEE,
Okay.
which is going to tell you individually, based on you, how many calories you need to consume, right?
Yes. Okay, so once it spits this number at you, it's going to break it down into proteins, fats, and carbs. It's going to give you a number in grams that you need to be eating, and then the total number of calories that will come from the number of grams. So what you do, what I did, is I took those numbers and divided them by 3 and said, okay, I need to eat 3 meals and they need to be blah, blah, blah. Well, that's not right, so I screwed up the first time I did it.
So don't do that then?
So don't do that.
Just be clear.
But, okay, let me gather my thoughts here for
Yeah,
a second.
sure.
Okay,
Any questions
so-
at this point? Because
yeah.
it could be a lot. Like,
Is anyone confused? 'Cause
does
this
anybody
is a
not even
lot.
know what we're doing right now?
Everyone good? Okay, this is the confusing part. Okay, so when you work out, you want to have your carbs around your workouts. And at no other time of the day is it okay to have carbs, so don't do it. But it's like a free pass to have carbs, because everyone says carbs are bad. Well, they're not bad, you need them. So each performance tells you when to eat your carbs so that you can benefit from them the most. And it gives you a number to shoot for instead of just being like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to go eat, and you don't care what you're eating and what you're putting in your body and what it's doing when it's in there. So you want to eat low carb, like when I work out at 4 o'clock, I don't eat any carbs the whole day. Meat, which is a protein, and then your fats, and then your veggies all day. And then like an hour before you work out, you'll have a carb and a protein, and then you'll go work out, and then you'll have carbs and proteins after you work out, and carbs and proteins at dinner. But the tricky part is not everyone works out at 4 o'clock, so it's confusing to people sometimes how they, the changes they make to their diet if they work out at a different time of the day. So in these packets that I made lists of your protein sources, fat sources, just a list of vegetables, just so people know what's what, because some people don't even know what that stuff is. So it's just like a guesstimate. But the next thing that I did was I got everyone have like an iPhone or a Droid, or so you can go on there, you go and you download MyFitnessPal. It's an app. And it's free. So that's cool. So you go in there, you download that, and you try to make yourself a little meal plan, like, okay, what do I like to eat? So, eggs are a protein and they're a good source of fat, so that's okay. Like breakfast, eggs are like a go-to. If you don't like eggs, then you can't do each for fun. I'm just kidding. But eggs are great. So if you don't like eggs, then there's like really good, get some ground turkey, throw that in a pan, throw some stuff in there, saute it, there's your protein, get some avocado or some olives, there's some fats. Get some spinach, there's a veggie, there you go, breakfast, done.
This is also another good time to promote her business, Kinde's Kitchen. She makes meals too. Yeah. So, hey, I think the best thing she ever did was start stocking her fridge with them. Because as soon as you leave here, what are you thinking about? Oh, I gotta go eat. Oh, what do I have at home? I know me personally, I know what to make food. So I'm gonna eat whatever's available. Usually it's like a Pop-Tart or something. You know what I mean? It's like nothing that's easy to, I'm not gonna whip up steak and sweet potatoes and all this stuff. That takes a long time. So if you head out that door and hopefully she'll start stocking the fridge, because now she's got this many more clients that are gonna be trying to eat her meals. And also she'll do the private cooking too. I know Nick does that, and I know I've done that in the past when I was on. Too much off right now. But it's a great service. It's cheap. She makes you a ton of meals, and it's like she brings them all to you in all little containers. And all you gotta do is give her the containers back and they're done. And they're like $6-7 a meal. I mean, honestly, think about that. If you go to anywhere and eat, where are you gonna spend less than that? Especially for good quality like steak, chicken, sweet potatoes, stuff that's not exactly cheap. A crappy French fry and a burger or something like that. It's pretty cheap to make. Chicken nuggets when my kids eat, all that Frosties and stuff. That's cheap food. Really low quality food. This is high quality food for a good amount of money. So, right here, talk to her. Go here. She has all kinds of ideas. My wife does too. Part of my paleo. They put tons of pictures and recipes in there. There she is. This is part of my paleo. But between their websites, you think all I can eat is fish and eggs? What the heck? No, they have some awesome meals. I mean, they're eating pizza, nachos, spaghetti, you name it. They're eating it. All kinds. Go try one of those buns out there for my wife. Just made it. They're just as good as a package, in the store. So
it's good stuff.
I'm trying to plug your business right now.
Yep. So. And another thing I'm going to try to do is give you your macro and nutrient breakdown on my meals, so you'll know when you take it out of the fridge how many carbs, how many fats, how many proteins are in there. So if you are just not in the mood to count at that particular second, you can grab that out of there, you already know what it is. So you don't have to try to figure out, okay, now what do I got to do? Because it'll already be there for you. So These are really helpful. I wish that everyone could have one. Well, you can have
You
one.
can pass them around, you guys can take a look at them.
Just so you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. So, and I know people don't like to count calories, don't like to count things, but at first, for the first like 2 or 3 days, you have to count stuff. You just have to. Get over it. Quit being a baby. Like, what else do you count? You count your money, because that's important. Because otherwise, your bank account is in the negative. Well, guess what? Your body's in the negative. So you can count for your body for a few days. It's okay. Get over it. It sucks, but it's okay. You can do it. Because you only have to count for like a few days. You have to keep monitoring your bank account. Sorry. But this, you don't. Because you're going to learn what stuff looks like. You're going to learn what a couple of sweet potatoes looks like. You're going to learn what, 4 or 5 ounces of protein looks like. So you don't have to continue to count. And eggs are good too. See, I have slow eggs. But eggs are good because you don't have to really like focus on them. You can just count them 1, 2, 3. Like you don't have to like try to hold your hand out and say, how many ounces of protein is this? Eggs super easy. It's all there for you. All you gotta do is like, crack it open and cook it. So, yeah.
Well, once you start eating the food, you're gonna know what you eat.
Yeah.
You're not gonna eat, like,
You'll learn.
every time you eat, it's not a brand new meal. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
after a while, you have eaten all the food you can eat. You'll know what you like, you'll know what you don't like.
Okay, so carbs. So your carb sources, the only carbs that count in each perform are your starchy carbs, which there's a list of on there. So this is like sweet potatoes, bananas, yams, squash, plantains. They do a lot of white rice on there. So those are your carbs. So sorry, white rice isn't paleo, but guess what? It might make you lift heavier weights, so you want to eat some.
Yeah. Unless, of course, you find an allergy or something, any of this stuff.
Huh?
Unless you find, well, you're one of those, like, 1% people that have an allergy or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You know that by now.
yeah. So fruit counts as carbs too, so what you want to try to do is keep your fruit around your workouts too, or at night for a snack. So try to stay away from your fruit during the day, but if you have to have a piece of fruit instead of going to the vending machine, then by all means do it, because don't go to the vending machine. That's not easy to perform.
Unless it's
So,
post-workout.
yeah, if you want to cheat after you work out. Like, at night before you go to bed, and I know that's another thing that people tell you not to do, but that's a lie. Because I see before and after pictures, and I see people doing this, and it makes sense. Because there's certain times you want your insulin to spike during the day, and right before you're about to do like nothing in the middle of the day is not a good time, but around your workout is good. And at night, your carbs are going to make your insulin spike, but they're also going to make you tired. And you want to get a good night's sleep so your body can repair, so you can get up and do everything you need to do the next day. So that's what this is all about, the carbs in certain times of the day, because there's only certain times of the day you want the insulin going up and down. So that's, yeah.
I have a question on breakfast, because I read something that said, don't eat, maybe a couple hours after you wake up, and then one that said eat 30 minutes after you wake up. So when do we start? From wake up, when is our first meal?
Okay, so if you're gonna work out at 5:45, you pretty much are gonna come in here without eating, probably, I would assume. If you're gonna work out at 9 o'clock, you can get up and have breakfast, and I would do a carb and a protein at like 7:30 or 8 if you're gonna eat whole food, and come in here and work out and see how you feel. If you feel like you just crushed that workout and you just felt awesome and like, you got like out of breath, but you weren't like, oh my God, I'm exhausted, then that's good. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Keep eating till you plateau. Till you get to a point where, you're not seeing the changes you want to see or things aren't going the way you want them to go, then maybe start coming in here fasted and see how you feel. Because you're still going to have your carbs from the night before. You're still going to have your glycogen stores are still going to be in your muscles from you carving up the night before. So it's not like your muscles are going to be empty, but it just depends on, you. Everyone's different. So you can, if you're going to work out at 9, you can do it either way. You can come in here and not eat anything, or you can come in here with food in your stomach. And just because it's one way one day doesn't mean it has to be that way for the rest of forever. I never used to be able to eat before I worked out, and now I have to, or I die.
That's because you're not eating other times too. You're doing it right, you're doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
One more quick point about the carbs thing, if you're confused. Carbs usually, they spike your insulin levels, and insulin obviously is a lot of fat storage hormone. So typically when you eat a carb and spike your insulin, you're going to store it as body fat. However, the reason we eat around a workout is because especially if you do CrossFit, which is what you all do, it's a very intense style of working out, you're depleting your glycogen stores. So when you eat post-workout, your body sees that you're in a depleted state, and instead of storing the carbs as fat, it actually restores your glycogen stores. So that's kind of why Eat to Perform puts the carbs around the workout, is because that's the only time where you can eat your carbs and have it, supply your glycogen stores, which you all need. And if you're doing paleo, and if you've done paleo before, and strict paleo with a lot of carbs, and you've done CrossFit, and you felt like shit, and you couldn't do anything, because your glycogen stores are depleted. That's exactly why. And that's why Eat to Perform got so popular, in my opinion, and this is opinion, is because you have this huge paleo CrossFit community, like, put stickers on the car and stuff, and paleo and all this kind of stuff. But they started like plateauing, and Kinde was one of them. And she'll tell you the story if you want to hear it. But basically, when she started doing the carbs, this is like the poster child right here for paleo, CrossFit, straight up, and then Eat to Perform CrossFit. And I can show you all of her numbers, and it's like night and day. It's just ridiculous.
And
Strength numbers and cardio.
Sorry. Another thing that I think is really cool is, like me, I was really sick before I found this gym, and before I found paleo, so I have to thank you guys for that, because I would die. But I was really sick, and they didn't know what was wrong with me, and I started eating paleo, and I magically got better. So I don't touch processed food with like a 9-foot pole, because I can't, because I will go to the ER. But I'm WOD drunk. I can't remember where I was going with that. Oh, I wasn't eating enough, because I used to be in pain when I ate. So then when I started to feel better, I could eat again, but I was only eating like 1,000 calories a day, because I was still I didn't really count anything, and I didn't know I wasn't eating enough. So I go on the calculator, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be eating 2,300 calories a day, and I wasn't even eating half of that. And I started eating, and I
It's amazing.
got muscles.
She started glowing. You see that before and after photo I put on Facebook? A lot of you guys saw it.
Like my before and
That
after.
was literally after she started doing the Eat Perform.
It was like 5 or 6 weeks, and it was I'm not trying to say this in any kind of I have an ego kind of a way or anything, but I doubled my caloric intake and I got abs. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I got a lot leaner. And a lot of people are scared of calories, and they're scared of carbs, and they're scared of food. Mm-hmm. But it's not about being scared of food. It's because you don't know how to eat what you need to eat and when to eat it, and
it's about eating the right food at the right time.
So if it spits a big number at you, calorie wise or carb wise, or you're just nervous in general, there's a lot of pictures on their website that show people that increase their calories or just put things in the right spot throughout their day and got crazy awesome results. So
it goes back to this right here though. Ain't nobody doing that. If you get close to that, that's where a lot of the calories come from. Protein. A lot of people me, I'm 215 pounds. I tell you what, if I don't even eat half of that and get protein, and I need to start. And one good thing is the progenics and the protein supplements, you're gonna need that. You ain't gonna be able to eat enough chicken and steak and eggs all day long.
yeah, no.
I mean, it's impossible. Hey, get out of here.
Is that another one?
Get going.
Next door.
Careful, it's a pit bull.
All right. No, I didn't. That was
Shut that door, there's a pit bull out there.
that was Scott's.
Okay, so.
He's a puppy. He doesn't have his adult smell, so it's not really as an adult. It's just,
Oh, another thing, one last thing, and then I'll let you guys ask questions because I'll be really surprised if there aren't any. But the way that I get a lot of my carbs into is if you have a hard time eating before you work out, you can go on Amazon and you can get a carb supplement on there for really cheap. I mean, it doesn't need to be this insanely high quality carb supplement. Just get something so you're getting some carbs in before you work out. And pre-workout, you want to start at 20 or 30 grams of carbs before you work out, with 10 or 15 grams of protein in there. So you get a carb supplement and you get a protein supplement and make a little shake on your way to the gym if you have a busy day. And then you need your protein after you work out too. Make sure you get a nice big scoop and have a shake while you're driving home. Because we all know that we've been driving home from here and you don't know if the light was green or red, you went through it, because you're just like, shaking your protein, like, I need to drink this now, I don't know what's happening. So, but yeah, you gotta do shakes, otherwise it's really hard to get your protein in. You'll seriously, like, you're gonna be really full if you try to eat all that protein, but that's another good thing why this works, is if you're eating all that protein, you're not gonna wanna go eat crap. And if you are gonna eat crap, eat it at night, eat it after you've done your workout. Don't beat yourself up over it. Come in here and throw some more heavy weights around the next day. Like, just don't do that full downward spiral. And just because you ruined one part of the day or one meal or one snack or whatever, don't throw the rest of the day away. That's
you want
the
to ruin
worst
the meal,
thing
just
you
do it
can
after
do.
your workout. You
Yeah.
want ice cream?
You
Just
want
do it after your
something
workout.
after your workout. You want to go
If you're gonna
drink?
do it,
Yeah, if you're gonna do it at the right time.
I mean, that's one lesson here, right? If you're gonna eat your calories, do it at the right time.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna ask some questions real quick. Just gotta a couple things. We are gonna do that on challenge. It starts tomorrow. Basically, what you're gonna do is partner up. I've got a handful of free agents. You're gonna go to the calculator tonight and get all your numbers. We're not recording a journal this time. Last paleo challenge we did journals, and journals were horrendous because half the people probably didn't eat what they said they ate. It was a nice, easy way to get points. And the reason I say it is because the perfect journals never matched up to body fat correlations. It was always like, a couple people did really well in body fat, had good journals, but then some people would do like awesome with journals and then did not even lose their body fat. So you kind of knew that there was some funny business going on. Plus, it's a pain in the butt to really keep a journal. You probably want to at least keep this somewhere. I don't know, how do you do it, Tara? I mean,
My fitness pal.
You use this right
You could, just starting out, I mean, I'm only 10 days into it, I don't think you can do it without something calculating all that stuff out for you as you plug it in.
right.
And that's just the way you find your way through it too, like Kinde said, go into MyFitnessPal, put in some, 3 meals, and I do 3 meals and 2 snacks, and sometimes even another protein, it's because it's a long day, and get all that stuff in, and so having something that is keeping that running total for you, and then you can put it, you can store it into My Meals, and then you can just click on it, and then once you build it, it becomes really easy. But
Sounds to me like this is going to be integral part of
You
the challenge.
need that.
Yeah.
You need it.
So if I'm you, I'm going here first. Is that Google now? That's Google?
Mm-hmm.
So
I
we're on
think if
Google.
you're not doing that, you're probably not even eating enough.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going here. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm going to try to ask these questions real quick. This is what we're getting out of Google, which is a number.
You're getting that out of the
And
calculator.
this plus the protein plus all that out of the calculator?
Yeah.
Now, is there a place when we come up here, do we plug this in somewhere?
No.
No?
No.
But we don't need
Your MyFitnessPal is going to keep a running total of how many proteins you've taken in, how many fats you've taken in, how many carbs you've taken in, and what your caloric total is for the day.
So you'll look at your phone and be like, all right,
I'm at
This is
this
where
many
I'm at.
calories.
you know what you already got to be at from here.
So you kind of have to keep that as your own personal journal, whether or not it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
not
don't
gonna
have to hand
match,
it in
it's
to
not
me.
gonna match up to MyFitnessPal's what they say you should eat. You're gonna be,
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
can't
Don't
look
worry
at
about
it.
putting your
Nick or someone
anything
get
into
cool app
MyFitnessPal, like
because
as far as like your weight, your height, all that. It's gonna try to tell you what it thinks you need, but it's wrong. So don't.
Yeah, it's very wrong.
Because America is so backwards right now as far as like helping people lose
Automatically
weight.
compute, like for like an egg or chicken or something, does it automatically compute the proteins based on size and carb and fats too?
It's okay. It has a little. I wrote this down somewhere. Okay. So when you go in to this is MyFitnessPal. It has a. You click home. Click home. Click daily. And then you click on nutrient. And then I think it says nutrient details actually. But you click on this in this order, it's going to take you through. So you click this, you click this, you click this. And it's going to have 3 little options kind of on the upper right, I think. One's like a little pie graph. There's one that looks like this. It's like little dots, little things like this. That's the icon. Touch it. Click it.
Under which tab?
Because that's what will take you to your fats, proteins, and carb breakdown of that particular
Follow
food.
these, Angela. Home, daily, nutrient detail should be there.
I'm over.
All right.
It's kind of a lot. I know it's a lot, but it will work if you do it. And message me and email me and ask me questions right now. 'Cause
Yeah, ask your questions now, and also remember, you can, go ahead. You can email.
I don't know if you were gonna bring this up or if this opens a whole can of worms, but you and I had talked about the days that we, like rest days, to lay off the carbs. How do we know, based on that, what we should be doing on those rest days?
Okay, so, you should always have a pre-workout shake with your carbs and proteins in it. And then some people are gonna be doing a, post-workout shake with carbs and proteins in it too. On the days you don't work out, you're obviously not gonna have that shake. So that's gonna take your calories are gonna go down for that day, automatically. Not on purpose because you want them to, but just because you're not working out, so you're not having your shakes. So you still need to get your protein up to where it would have been, but don't worry about your carbs as much.
So don't eat any carbs, or,
No, you're still gonna wanna eat at least, you should never, ever be below 100 grams of carbs, ever, no matter who you are.
So still take your protein shake.
You can
but
still
not
have
the
your
carbs.
protein shakes, yep, just don't
Just
put the
eliminate
carbs in.
carbs for it.
Time's up.
so on rest days, eat greater than 100 grams of carbs. Is there any number, the number of carbs in a workout day will be determined here?
Yeah.
So that's just spit it out, they tell you.
I asked that question on the forum, and, to one of the administrators, and then they came back on, and they said, for me personally, my stuff, my information, they said take 50 to 75 carbs off on a day that I'm not gonna work out. I'm at 200 carbs a day.
Okay.
200 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and 175 or 125 of fat. And she didn't have to mess with anything else, but take, depending on how, in the whole thing, I think you said it's
Everyone's
how
gonna
you
be
feel.
different, yeah.
If you're still, feeling like you need a few, but that was kind of their
Yeah,
advice.
like for your just for you to if you were just gonna get out of your bed and go on your couch, you still need 100 grams of carbs. Like for your body to do all the metabolic functions, all the stuff that it needs to do, just for your brain to function, you need 100 grams of carbs. So you should never go below that. But on days that you're not working out, you want your carbs to be lower. So
Because your activity levels down.
you're not depleting those glycogen
Your
stores. Your
glycogen
muscles
stores
aren't
aren't going
tired, so
anywhere.
you don't need carbs.
Yeah, so you don't need to rehydrate your,
But
your supply.
But you just basically eat no carbs all day, and then at night with your dinner, that's when you have your carbs. And if you can't get them all in at dinner, then you have a snack, like Rice Chex cereal. They say that a lot on the forum is really good. Like you can sit and have 2 cups of that, and there's a bunch of carbs right there, and it's just a little snack before you go to bed. And there you go. It's cool. It's good. Okay. Yeah.
What about working out twice a day? Like, a lot of times I'll do a little bit of cardio during the daytime and then come here at night.
You can still do pre and post, but again, it's based on how you feel. So if you were doing cardio, I wouldn't focus too much on post-workout carbs just for cardio.
Okay.
But you can throw some pre-workout carbs in there.
Just
Or
as long as it fits into the numbers that you've been given.
right, but I wouldn't worry too much about post-workout carbs just for cardio. I would do. You could do a little bit before your cardio if you want to, but if you what time do you usually?
It's different times because it's when I'm at school.
Oh,
So it's
okay. So you're not fasted or anything.
no.
So, I mean, you can try it and see how it goes, and I wouldn't do a lot, but definitely before you come here, they say, if your, total carb number for the day is really high, you want to try to knock out a big chunk of that, in your pre-workout shake before you come here. So, you want that shake to be, 30 or 50 grams, because maybe you need to get to, 200 grams of carbs by the end of the night, and that's a lot of carbs to try to eat. If you get home at 6, okay, now I go to bed at 8, I have 2 hours to eat 200 grams of carbs. That's just that's not realistic. So, you can do a little bit before your cardio, but I would definitely focus on before you come in here.
Add a quick thought that if you're going to work out twice a day, then And that's consistent. You might bump your activity level up, which might bump up how many carbs it's going to spit out at you. But I think the answer she's going to give you is always stick within this. Even if you're working out twice a day, that's going to be determined here, activity level. You know what I mean? I think if you're working out twice a day, especially even if it's just cardio, it's still going to bump your activity level up.
Yeah. Does this just assume that you don't drink, or can you count?
I love it. Every time I've done one of these, someone asks me if I can have booze, and I love it.
Well, I know you drink wine, so.
So, wine's paleo, in case anyone didn't know. And made wine, I know they did.
Now, beer, you got to throw that into your calculation.
Beer is gluten. Yeah, if
Post-workout.
Post-workout beer is the only time you have a beer. Okay, so, if you're gonna drink, and this is what I did, I just said because I'll have like wine every night while I'm cooking, and you can't do that. If you want to see results, like some things are just never gonna change, and alcohol is not good for your metabolism. It's just not. So you have to like make a little deal with yourself and say, okay, well, I'm only gonna drink wine 2 nights a week, or 1 night a week, or you know, you have to cut back. It's just the way it is, but. I would just keep it, make sure it's after you've worked out, and I would try to keep beer to a minimum just because it has a lot of carbs. If you're gonna drink, you do it on a day that is lower carbs and maybe lower your fat a little bit, because your body metabolizes alcohol as fat, and it's gonna metabolize the alcohol faster than it metabolizes your fat that you're eating. So it metabolizes the alcohol and then it just stores the fat. So if you're gonna drink on a day that you're lower carb, drink on a day that you're maybe lower your fats a little bit. But try to stay away from like juice. Juice is full of sugar. The liquor itself, you could just take shots.
Then you just get more of the alcohol.
So wine and, okay, chase your whiskey with wine and you're all set. But
do you track it? Like if you're drinking wine at night, do you track it and count it towards?
I don't track it. I just cut myself off at the end of the bottle. But I mean, you can track it and it might help, but a lot of the stuff I've read on there and a lot of stuff, like my own personal research that I do, is just to stay away from like your mixers are usually bad. So if you're gonna have a mixed drink, try to do like tonic or just water, or I mean, it's not hard for me, but it's hard for guys more, I think, because they can't go order a vodka water at the bar. It's just not socially acceptable. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you really commit to the challenge, though, try to do at least 30 days. I mean, it's a 60-day challenge.
Yeah, you will notice.
Not everybody gets to start where Kinde started. I mean, she's in pretty damn good shape when she started this. You know,
Yeah.
and I think she can slide away with a few things.
Yeah.
And I know I couldn't get away with if I was trying to do this. So, if you're serious and you really want to do this, you're gonna have a little bit of commitment. You're gonna have to do this calculation. You're gonna have to do the app, or figure out a way to track your stuff. So it's gonna take a little bit of commitment on your part.
But it's not going to take a long time for you to see results. I promise you. It will not take a long time at all. It didn't take me long.
To give it a
Didn't-
month
Didn't
and a
take
half.
Tara long. Yeah, a month and a half I made major, huge gains.
Yeah.
Like I added like 30 pounds on all my lifts. Like I had really, really good results. And Tara's having results already, and everything's, it's there. You just have to do it. And if you're going to do a 60-day challenge, try to make it 3 weeks without any booze. Try to make it 3 weeks without cheating. And then when you do, add another week on. Keep going. Feed off the good things that are happening instead of concentrating on how bad you want the Snickers bar. Like, you got to just really make a commitment for yourself, because it's worth it, and you'll feel better. I feel so much better.
Day 61.
Day 61, we'll have a party.
Well, a big party on day 61. With all kinds of wine.
And
Good.
PR.
On the protein part, you do want to mix up your proteins and not just eat the same ones all
Yeah.
the time.
But find something you like, and if you make the same dinner for like 5 days a week, oh well, because
That might not be a winning strategy, because that might discourage you, though. At the same
Yeah.
time, crap, I can't eat another fish.
yeah.
Whatever it is.
Find something you like and keep making it until you get sick of it, and then find something else, and then next thing you know, you've built up like 4 or 5 recipes that you really like to make. And so one recipe a week, and then by the time you get to week 5, you cycle back to week 1 and go, oh, I forgot how good this tastes. You know?
But you just don't wanna keep,
Huh?
you don't wanna eat the same protein.
You can,
It
but
wouldn't matter.
you don't have to.
It's not gonna
I
diminish
mean,
the
it's not
results.
gonna, no, it wouldn't.
Certain proteins have more like bioavailability, which means you absorb more of what you eat, stuff like that. But I mean, if you're eating the good like steak, chicken, fish, they're all pretty similar. Whey protein actually has the best bioavailability. And also there's also raw materials that go in. So if you buy a cheap whey protein, then you're gonna like from Walmart. And the raw materials they use are obviously going to be cheaper than. I mean, people like Casey have made his own protein before. You can select certain things to put in there, that are going to be, depending on how the quality is, it's going to affect the price. So that's why I like the Progenic stuff, is even though it's relatively expensive, it's pretty high quality stuff.
So you can mix them up, or you can.
So do you drink a lot of water? Like when we do the paleo challenge, you drink half your body weight in water? Are you still doing that?
No,
That
we are
kind of
not. Let me explain the challenge real quick. Yes, you drink tons of water, but the
You should
challenge,
drink a lot of water.
you do not do a journal. We already covered that. You do not get credit for 8 hours of sleep. You don't get credit for working out. You don't get credit for the water. But also, because you're not doing the journal, you're not getting deductions for anything you don't eat. Okay, the entire challenge is based on, and I know you said this to me, Tara, and I got it in my email, and I can't remember exactly the way I did it, but it boils down to this. We're going to do a body fat and a weight. The weight doesn't matter, but body fat matters, because from your body fat and your weight, you get your lean mass, right? So like, if you're, let's say, real quick, if you're 200 pounds, make this easy, and let's say I did a little body fat calculation, and it says you have 10% body fat, right? So, that's really easy numbers, right? So you gotta see where this is going. So 10% of 200 is 20. So this would say you have about 20 pounds of fat and about 180 pounds of lean mass. Obviously, brain, organs, skin, bones, stuff like that. But most of that's not gonna change. I mean, you're not gonna, unless you lose a kidney or something, you're not gonna really change. So this number we basically call muscle, right? So if this number goes up, then you gain muscle. If this number goes down, or this number goes up, you gain fat. So we're going to track these two numbers right here in the challenge. And there's a formula, which I apologize for not having, that each Perform uses on the website. They have a challenge too, right? But each Perform total website challenge, country. And I'll get that calculation, I'll have it for you guys, but just here's the thing. Here's the thing to know. This is why it's important to eat properly, because any of changes in here, this going down, this going up, is going to give you points for your challenge. Okay? You're going to win or lose the challenge based on these two numbers right here. So if you don't change, then I don't care what your journal says. That's why we're not doing a journal. We're taking the most honest approach to this, which is simply show me the numbers. Those numbers right there mean everything.
Well, you're still drinking. I guess my question is, we went over all the food stuff. Like you're drinking a lot of water. Are you following like the paleo where you're not drinking milk, you're doing coconut milk, you're doing kind of the stuff we did in the paleo challenge as far as drinking.
Exactly. I mean, everything's paleo.
Right.
She keeps saying paleo, and that's because basically the foundation of all this is paleo.
Right.
Plus maybe some rice, maybe some Chex, whatever cereal she's talking about. Maybe a few carbs, but we're not going to have you have like an awesome sandwich from Adam's Shop until day 51.
That's what you should do. Bring them in.
Well, he does have salads, okay? You can go get a salad
One more thing.
with meat and stuff. You can put meat in the salad. He took that nice flank steak and just chop it up, throw it in the salad. There you go.
Another thing really fast that is important is don't weigh yourself. And if you're going to, don't quit trying because your weight hasn't moved. I mean, it probably will change quickly, but it's not the same for everybody. But you might not lose weight right away. But it's not about that, because if you're gaining muscle, you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to see it on a scale right away. So just throw that thing away.
Yeah, scale is horrible.
It doesn't count. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
the only
it's
thing
the
that
worst
matters is the little body fat % calculator.
Yep. It's the
That's
worst
the only
measure
thing
of
that
results. people should honestly throw it away. People actually discouraged to quit the gym because they gained weight.
It's
The reason they gained weight was because they actually built some muscle.
Right, like, oh, your back squat went up 20
Yeah.
pounds, but you had to quit the gym
God
because you
forbid
gained.
you gain some muscle.
Yeah,
I
so,
mean, come on.
okay. Did you,
Questions?
I did, I know that you said to not divide by 3, but I know Tara can have snacks at work. I have patience, I can't
Yeah.
have a snack at my desk, I mean, I just can't. So my concern is like, am I gonna, I don't know how I'm gonna get like 500 calories at breakfast.
Shake,
I mean,
Shake.
You should,
Toss it on there, throw everything in the kitchen sink and that bad boy, blend it up. Oh,
kale, spinach.
check this out, almond butter, that's a great way to bump up your fats, bump up your calories.
almond butter, like cashew butter, they,
okay.
they
Well, I
have-
mean, I'll probably private message you, you know, more about like getting some ideas, but I you know, and you and I talked about, I need breakfast on the go, cause I don't have time.
I would
really don't.
honestly, like, I would, I have this little blender that, oh,
I
this.
Yeah.
And the thing goes in here, the short part,
Yeah,
and so at night, you just put in here what you wanna have for breakfast and put it in your fridge, and then in the morning when you wake up, you just, and then you just go. I mean, it might come down to
I
that.
have a Ninja blender, it is wonderful, I get it.
Oh, I like,
You don't use it.
I'm just, you know, like,
I would just, I mean, it's all about meal prep, and.
I don't wanna drink all of my meals, I wanna eat something, so like, when I take something for lunch, it's like, okay, steak and vegetables, it's still not gonna get me to 500 or 600 calories. I just don't, so.
Fats.
Yeah.
You gotta
That's
add your
fine.
olives, you gotta add.
Oh, who eats
Okay, no,
olives?
I.
Don't say avocados either, those are gross.
She's got a whole sheet
Seriously,
in
if
front of
you
you.
haven't eaten celery and cashew butter yet, you've not lived your life. Because I will eat the whole jar. Where's the fat? It's gotta come from your fat. Like, you gotta get, like, if you gotta get 500 calories in one meal, because you can't have snacks, which I quit having snacks, because I just make it all in a shake, but you gotta find, like, make like a, I used to make this epic salad, and I have a Tupperware container that's this tall and it's this big around, and people used to look at me like I was crazy, but I used to make an epic salad. And it would have, like, everything in my fridge on it. Like peppers, cucumbers, kale, spinach, avocados, olives, sesame seeds, cashews, almonds, there's all kinds of shit on it.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you really need to get like a massive amount of calories in there, like make this salad and just throw everything on it. All kinds of nuts, seeds, oil and vinegar, throw a hard boiled egg on there, throw some steak in there.
Okay. We talked about it the other night, but I mean, you're a nurse, so obviously she can't
You
just,
can't
you know,
plan when you.
Just shove it in and go.
Yeah.
right, it's not,
You can do.
You have to just be ready, and if you pack a snack and if you don't eat it, you don't eat it. But at least it's there if you need it. You know what I mean?
Angela's got a
But-
question over there.
What about like black beans or like northern beans, do those fall under fats? Or you can't
They're
have
legumes, they're not
carbs?
paleo.
They're not paleo.
I don't
They're.
even think you got enough calories for them, do you?
What about hummus?
Hummus, chickpeas, yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
you can, but I don't, so I don't know what.
yeah. I don't think something like that would be all that detrimental.
I mean, no, it's not detrimental at all. But I would,
It's better to get your calories than not get your calories.
yeah, if you have to have them or if you like them and you want to have them, type them in your MyFitnessPal and see what they are. Or protein, I really don't even know.
Just remember, this matters at the end of the day right here. Go ahead.
I was reading right here, it says if you're trying to lose body fat, you do not need to add post-squat carbs. Ding, 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 that's me. So just don't do those then when
In your
I eat
shake.
them.
Like, you can have them before you work out.
Okay.
You should have them before you work out, and then at night. But it's not like, you don't
Not
need
like
them
you
like
need it, like,
right
right
after.
after.
Right,
Okay.
right, yep.
All right, real quick, we're gonna wrap up. We have class coming in. Those who want to do the challenge, because honestly, even core is doing the challenge. It's one of those things where this is great information, but to apply it, you sort of need something to something to motivate you. You know what I mean? And if you have a partner that you're kind of leaning on, then you know it makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier to commit to things, and you know that you'd be letting somebody else down, right? So if you don't have a partner, it's not a big deal. Well, I've already had like 7 or 8 people email me about becoming a free agent, and we can get you out with somebody. So don't worry if you don't have a partner. Talk to me. If you already have a partner, let me know. I need to write down everybody's name that's going to be on the challenge, and I need to write down all the free agents so I can go home and partner you guys up and send out emails tonight letting you guys know who your partners are going to be. And we start the challenge tomorrow, so please follow this advice. So tomorrow when you wake up, you got a little bit of homework to do tonight. When you go home, this right here, those are your main 2 things. We got 20 of these, so if we have more than 20 people doing the challenge, we'll get some copies out to you. By show of hands, how many people do we have doing the challenge? Anybody? So let's count these out real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, now 20. Bam. We're at 20. So if you don't mind, hand those back to me at the end, and I'll get the 20 people that decided to do the challenge, piece of paper, and we'll be probably good then.
And one more thing.
Or keep it if you're doing the challenge.
If you guys get through to the calculator and it gives you your numbers and you just don't know what to do, you're just completely lost, take a screenshot and get it to me on Facebook. Just private message it to me and write down what you like to eat, and I'll try to help you with a meal plan. Or like put some meals into my FitnessPal, take a screenshot of that and say, here's kind of what I have started, can you help me? If you need help, just take a screenshot and just send it to me, because that's how I've been like helping people with their meal plans.
On my FitnessPal, if somebody wanted to, they can make it public. They can share the link, and you can go into their journal and look. That's what on the Each Perform forum, the administrators will check mine out for me. They can just make it public. They'll go into my journal and they'll make suggestions.
Okay.
So they can do that too.
Yeah.
Versus screenshots. You can just send it when you go to make it public.
The link.
Everybody
Okay.
knows about it.
Okay. All right. Yes, that's an option too.
All right, cool. If you're going to do the challenge, stick around. We'll get your weight and all that good stuff, and write your name down. We got to pay tonight. Please put your chairs back, whatever you're sitting on now. Obviously, we're not going to have this much stuff in the gym. Thanks, Kinde.